Good evening, beautiful people of the You Create the Dream page, and welcome to Awake in the Dream. This is our fortnightly call. It's an opportunity for you to ask me any questions at all, and also for me to share what I feel needs to come through. Um, okay, let's just make sure that I am on. Do say hi as you come on. Let me know that you're here. I had this trouble last night where I appeared on my phone about a minute after everybody else. Go figure. Sometimes technology is really hard to understand. Okay, I am still not appearing. I'll give it a moment. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our call. As I mentioned, this is an opportunity to ask me anything at all. Tonight's call will be somewhat shorter than usual, and that's because I am going straight after this call into our Power of You program, module 2 of the Power of You program. There I am. Here we are. Okay, I am appearing. Good evening, good evening, good evening, beautiful Kerry and Libby. How are you, ladies? So I'm going to go straight into our call because this one needs to be a short one because we are going into the Power of You on the Power of You page straight after this one. Hello, hello. I'm just going to go straight for the punchline. You were never meant to fit in a box that you didn't build. So if you were never meant to fit in a box that you didn't build, why are you still living by somebody else's blueprint, by somebody else's stories? The moment we come into this world, stories begin to shape us. They don't start with us, but they shape us. We inherit them. We absorb the rules. We learn what's acceptable. We learn what's admirable. We learn what's enough. We become the good girl, the good boy, the strong one, the achiever, the quiet one, the one who doesn't rock the boat. Good evening, beautiful Amanda. How are you? We become the one who always says yes when our soul screams no, the one who holds everything together, even when inside you are falling apart yourself. But everybody knows you to be the strong one, so you don't let them see when you're falling apart. And then slowly, without even realizing it, we forget. We forget who we were before we became what they needed, before we shaped ourselves to be palatable, digestible, appropriate, lovable. We didn't mean to betray ourselves. It was literally a survival strategy. Because let's face it, when you were born, you didn't know, you couldn't survive on your own. But you learned, you watched how your family was surviving. So you understood how they were thinking. Your model of the world is an inherited model of the world, but it's not necessarily truth. So everything you did, hello, beautiful Sharon, how are you? Ali, hello, hello. So here's the thing that you need to remember. The old you, the old stories, was simply a beautiful, intelligent adaptation of what you thought you needed and who you thought you needed to be to survive in this world. And the fact is, at some point, it did keep you safe. At some point, those stories did keep you safe. But you're older and wiser now. And now here you are. There's something, there's so many energetic shifts on the planet. There's something inside of you stirring. Maybe it's whispering. Maybe it's been whispering for a while, or maybe it's even roaring now. And it's that voice that says, this isn't who I really am. This isn't what life is all about. This isn't the life that I came here to live. The world isn't as scary as they tell us. There's more. There has to be more. And you're right, there is more. And that more begins where the pretending ends. And what I mean by that is that perhaps you don't even realize there's a pretending or a game that's being played. So you don't know until you know, but when you know, it's what you do with what you know that's important. So when you start to remember your power, when you start to truly honor yourself, things begin to change. You can't live the way you used to when you have awakenings. So I want you to really feel into that for a moment. I want you to think about it. How much of your current life was built from truth? And I mean absolute truth. I don't mean your family's truths and stories, but absolute truth. And how much of your life, how much of your thoughts, how much of the way you do things is built from fear or stories of fear? Can you see the only thing holding you back is you? People around you aren't really holding you back. Your parents perhaps aren't really holding you back. Maybe they're here or not here, but their stories are, the lingering stories, the programs. How many of your decisions came from absolute alignment, truth and alignment? And how many of the decisions that you've made have come from not wanting to disappoint somebody else? Let me know if this is landing. How often have you shrunk, softened, silenced yourself to stay safe? And how often have you worn strength like a shield because your softness felt too vulnerable? Here's a truth that I want you to receive so deeply right now. I want you to, so deeply that you feel it in your bones. You were never broken. All you need is remembering. One of my favorite quotes is from a gentleman known as the Prophet, Khalil Gibran, the Prophet. And I actually write this on the board at my Reiki 1 trainings. No man can reveal to you aught but that which is already half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. And what that means is nobody brings truth to you, but they help you to remember the truth that is already within you. And the only reason you ever have an aha is because that truth has been making its way up, and that truth is so close to the surface that somebody says something and you get your aha. Actually, Libby and I had a call back and forth earlier today, and I can't recall. Oh, that's right. Libby had made a comment about how great last night's call was in the power of you. And, you know, and it comes through different every single time. But here's the thing, and a lot of you ladies are actually in the Power of You group. The fact is, I mean, it comes through me the way it needs to come through. You know, it's the energy of the time, it's the energy of the group, it's a whole lot of things. But it could literally be a scripted program that is word for word the exact same. But then every time you turn up, something different stands out because you're different. You're not the same person you were the last round. And the best example I can give you, and this is what I had said to Libby, it's like watching The Peaceful Warrior. Brilliant movie. If there's anyone that hasn't seen the movie, absolutely must watch it, and watch it at least a dozen times. There are so many messages in that movie. And every time you watch it, and it is literally exactly the same as the last time you saw it, and the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. But every single time you see it, something different stands out. You get a different aha. Because we only ever receive what it is we're ready to receive at any given point in time. And then when you awaken, when you grow more, when you elevate more, you're able to then receive more. And that's why what people receive is different every single time. And again, I'm not bringing a truth from outside of you to you. All I am doing is awakening, deepening the remembering of the power that you have inside of you. No man can awaken within you anything but what is already half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. Half asleep means to be that it's not in a deep slumber anymore, but it's starting to wake up. Something's starting to shift, and it's nearing the surface. And then suddenly you see something, you hear something, you read something, something happens, and there's your aha. There's your massive growth. So it's important to remember that the most powerful transformation doesn't happen when you become somebody new. It happens when you return to who you truly are, who you truly were before the roles, before the coping mechanisms, before the world told you who you should be, who you had to be, how things have to be done. And look, I know it's easier said than done because we've all been conditioned. We've all been conditioned to play a part, to be good, to be productive, to be selfless, to be sensible, to use your head, not your heart, all the stories. And if you start breaking those patterns, if you dare to break the mold, people around you get quite uncomfortable. People around you will start to say, oh, you've changed. That's where you'll say, thank you very much. They'll say, you've changed, and they don't like it. They'll say, you're selfish. They'll project their discomfort onto you because they're not willing to change. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're remembering and they're not. And sometimes remembering who you are looks a lot like a rebellion, rebelling against the norm, and people around you can't understand it. But you also need to understand that you weren't born to blend in. You were born to rise, to radiate, to be fully expressed. And yet, for most of us, we're taught to hide our light, taught that humility means shrinking, that strength means self-sacrifice, that love means abandoning ourselves. Oh, if you really loved me, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be like that. But let me offer you something like really radical. True humility is being fully yourself and knowing you're no better or worse than anybody else. Recognizing that if we are all made in the image and likeness of God, then we are all perfection. We all have the potential, the capacity for perfection. And sure, we'll look around and not everybody's choosing that path, but it's only because their truth is still so deeply asleep right now. But if you feel the calling and you ignore it, it causes you immense grief. For the people that are still unconscious, they're going about living life. They've got no idea. Not until something happens that forces them to take that inward journey, but perhaps something has happened that's forced you to take the inward journey. Perhaps you've realized you can't keep living the way you were before. And you have to listen to that calling. Because if you don't, it causes so much pain, grief, and suffering. True strength is having the courage to live in your truth. True strength is having the courage to live in your truth, especially when it shakes up the room. True love includes you. It includes you loving you. Because if you don't love you, the world is going to reflect that back at you. So if you love you, the more you love you, the more you value you, the more you recognize your worth, the more the world is going to recognize that too. You're here to embody the remembering of who you are, not just to have the aha, go, oh, I know I should love myself and value myself, to embody it. And this begins with shedding what no longer serves. It begins with noticing the masks, noticing the roles, noticing the patterns, and saying with absolute love, this is not mine to carry anymore. So I want you now to take this from concept to embodiment. So I'm going to do a really quick process with you. Again, I do apologize. This is going to be a shorter call because we do have the Power of You program running at the moment. And interestingly, what I'm feeling is coming through tonight is very much a part of the Power of You program, which is not too late to join. It is not too late to join the program. It's extremely powerful, well worth it, one-time payment, and it is yours for life. And what I mean by yours for life is that it's not a recorder. You don't get the recordings for life. What you do is you get every upgraded program for as long as it is running. So it is well worth it. An incredible community. There's so much love and so much support within our amazing, amazing tribe. And it is open for men and women. I need to be clear on that. Okay, so getting yourselves ready. And I want you to gently close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And again, a deep breath in and exhale. I want you to imagine that you're looking into a mirror. Imagine looking into a mirror, and I want you to visualize your reflection with as much detail as you possibly can. That's right. Really looking at all the details of you in that reflection. And now I want you to soften your gaze, noticing your face, the life that's lived in your eyes. Really looking deep into your eyes, noticing the life that's lived, noticing the strength in your posture, noticing the wisdom that you've earned. And gently ask yourself, who did I become so as to feel safe in this world? Who did I become so as to feel safe in this world? And just trust in what comes. Did I become the one who always had to help others? Did I become the one who never asked for anything? Did I become the one who lost myself in relationships? The one who stayed silent to keep the peace? I want you to acknowledge that version of you. Offer that version of you gratitude. That version of you did a great job. But now I want you to take a really deep breath. Feel your feet grounding into the earth. Feel your heart beating. And imagine that right here in front of you appears another version of you. The version of you who never forgot who you were. That version is radiant. That version is unapologetic. That version is unshakable. That version is wise. That version is so free and abundant. That version looks at you with deep love and says, I've been waiting for you to remember. And you do. In that moment, you do remember. You can feel it in your body. Feel that truth in your body. Breathe into that knowing. I remember. I remember. Let it anchor, because this is who you really are. That's right. You see, the journey isn't about building yourself. It's about reclaiming yourself. It's about unlearning, peeling back the layers. It's about returning home to you. When you rise as your true self, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror for possibility, a lighthouse in the storm. Breathe deeply, claim, awaken the greatest version of you, so that you become a walking embodiment of what's possible. What's possible when we stop living from fear and start living from absolute truth. And from this space, from this truth, I want you to recognize, what identity are you ready to shed today? Are you ready to finally let go of the overachiever version of you, the overreactive version of you, the rescuer, the chameleon, the version of you who holds it all but feels held by nobody? Are you ready to let go? Honor that version, thank that version, but still let that version go. Because there's a you waiting on the other side of that release. A you who is no longer bound by survival. A you who chooses alignment over approval. A you who honors absolute truth over tradition. And that you, that version of you is magnetic. That version of you is clear. That version of you is wildly powerful and magical. Feel the power that you are. Feel the power that you are. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, opening your eyes as the greatest version of you, anchoring it in, and simply saying, this is who I am now. And with every step forward, I grow more and more wiser, because I choose to live my truth and I choose to be the power that is me. So if my words are speaking so loudly and clearly to you, if your heart is beating a little louder right now, if your soul is whispering, I need more, I want more, then I want you to know it's time. It's time for you to rise. It's time for you to come home to yourself. It's time for you to clear all the subconscious patterns, the programs, the loops, the things that have kept you stuck. It's time to remember what was always true, and that's that you had the power all along. As I mentioned, I have the Power of You program running right now. We only just started last night. It is not too late to join. It is not too late to join. This isn't just a program. It's a resurrection. It's a deep remembering. It is a rise. It's a sacred space where you'll clear what no longer belongs. You'll clear the old patterns and programs. You'll become part of an incredible tribe, an incredibly supportive tribe. You'll release the fears, the outdated identities, because you start to realize it's all just freaking stories, and you will return to truth. You will fully and boldly and unapologetically be you. So in the Power of You program, we don't just talk about change. We make a commitment to embodying it. We make a commitment to activating it. We make a commitment to becoming it, because the world doesn't need more perfection. What the world needs is more truth. What the world needs is people that are rooted in their power, so grounded in their power and clear that they're able to embody so much more light. We need more souls that are fully alive, not dulled down. So if you're ready to rise, if you are ready to be seen, if you're ready to finally be free and feel like you're free in your own skin, just as you are, because you are perfection, then consider joining us, because this is your time, this is your remembering, and this is an opportunity to fully embody the power of you. I know I did see some messages come through. Alison, huge shift and awakening in all sorts of ways since the Reiki weekend with you. Thank you, Alison. Congratulations, sweetheart. All the changes that are unfolding in your life are unfolding because of the magic that you have allowed into your world. It's always you. It's always you. Remember, all I do is I share what I share. Whether or not it's activated is entirely up to you. Whether or not you allow it in is entirely up to you. So I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations on allowing that much magic in your life. Power of You is one of the best investments I ever made for myself. Thank you so much, Marina. Livy, highly recommend it. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to call it a night on the You Create the Dream page, and I'm heading over to the Power of You because we start in 30 minutes. Much love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you again in a fortnight. Good night, everybody.